This full collectible guide in Olija will show all 10 Castaway locations and all 8 music box locations in chronological order. There will be timestamps with locations in the description. Additionally, some areas cannot be returned to after completing them. I'll be sure to point those out as we come across them. And the game deletes your save file after you beat the final boss, so make sure to do any backtracking immediately after collecting the 3 blue keys in the story. Our first music box location is in Shadow Creek, past the flute player and the door, hidden behind a waterfall. In our base at Oaktide, the second music box can be found hidden in the back room of the hat shop. You'll need to use your harpoon to reach the hidden area back here. Now we're going to return to Shadow Creek to find our third music box. This area should be familiar from the first time we were here. We want to head up the left ladder and then just continue forward until we get to the door. At the door, instead of going through it, we're actually going to throw our harpoon up towards the ceiling through this little gap, and if we teleport up there, we will find the music box. Progress the story so you can access the forest, and as soon as we get here, just past the dock is going to be our first castaway. And what we need to do is head just a little bit further past him and jump up using our harpoon to teleport just above him, and then we're going to cut him down by cutting his rope with our sword. Continuing forward from here, we want to head back up to where we just were, and this time we're going to head to the right as we're going to go and grab our fourth music box. If you continue along this path, eventually you're going to come to a cave, enter the cave, and then continue to the right even more until you find a little altar in the background. And then from there, we're going to harpoon up and teleport up just above the altar, and we'll be able to teleport through a little crevice and a couple of other areas until we finally reach that music box. Continuing even further into the forest, we're going to find our second castaway in the next cave that we come across, so head on inside, and then we just want to continue all the way to the right until we can drop down, and eventually we'll find a mouth monster thing that we can walk into. It'll spit us out right on top of our next castaway. Just go ahead and cut the rope and free him, and you will have your second castaway done.
Colores.
Near the end of the forest area, we're going to find yet another castaway. This is our third one. As we head through this door and continue forward to the right, he's going to be right in front of us, but we will need to harpoon up above him and cut down his rope in order to free him. After defeating the boss at the end of the forest, you will unlock the ability to use electricity with your harpoon. On the next screen, you'll need to use it in order to unlock this door, and then right in front of you past the door is going to be our 4th castaway. Go ahead and cut him down to save him. In Fallen Town, we're going to find our 5th castaway and our 5th music box all in the same area. So you'll make it to this campfire very early on. There will be a little bit of a conversation, and then if you continue forward to the left, you'll come to this dark door. Before going through it though, we want to actually jump up and head up through the screen through this little hole in the ceiling here. And if we head up here, we're going to be able to find our music box immediately to our left. However, we can't actually get to it yet. What we need to do is head over to the right in order to activate a switch, and right in front of that switch to the right is going to be our castaway. So go ahead and cut the castaway down in order to free him, and then we can focus on getting the music box. And in order to get the music box, we need to use this timed lever just to our right, and then we need to actually use our harpoon to jump across the different eyeballs in order to make it all the way back over to the music box before the door gets closed off of the timer. In the old archives, we're going to find 2 more castaways, our 6th and 7th, as well as our 6th music box. Near the beginning of the area, before heading through your first door, make sure to head up through this hole in the ceiling using your harpoon. You will need to fight through these enemies, and then you should be able to free your 6th castaway. Head back down and go through the door and continue forward. We can go ahead and heal right here if you need to, and then we're just going to continue through the key-locked gate and to the right, and we're going to see that there are a bunch of eyeballs that we can use our harpoon on in order to continue forward to the right. But after jumping onto the second eyeball, instead of continuing to the right, we want to go up and through this area right above us here in order to find our 7th castaway. A little bit further in the old archives, you'll need to use this lever in order to continue forward, but before going back down and around, we want to head up and to the right in order to defeat these enemies and grab our 6th music box just past them. The Filap Islands are the last location that we're going to have to visit. We're going to find 3 castaways here and our last 2 music boxes. Early on, you'll make your way through a cave, and when you get to the exit door, instead of heading through it, go down the ladder and then continue along the left side path until you get to another door and you can head through that one. Inside of this door, you should immediately notice your 8th castaway hanging above you, but first we need to head down, and we're going to use our moon blade in order to teleport to the other side of this moving platform. So wait for it to come back here, and then place your moon blade on it, and wait for it to get to the other side so you can teleport to it. And then we're just going to continue along the path up and around until we get back to the castaway. As we're going along this path though, we will find our next music box just hanging out on a table in front of us, so make sure that you pick that up as well before moving on to the Castaway. Eventually you'll make it to this golden key door that you need to get through, but we won't have the keys yet. What we need to do is head to the left and up, and then continue to the left and through the doorway into the cave. And then we just want to continue to the right, fight through the enemies, and we should notice our 9th castaway hanging right in front of us. Go ahead and cut him down, free him, and that is your 9th out of 10. We just have one more to go. But before freeing our final castaway, we're going to head back to the gold key door, and this time instead of going through the cave, we want to head up this ladder and continue upward using the different eyeballs to get all the way up here until we can find our final music box. So just continue along the path, and as you make your way up here, you should see that there is a ladder kind of hidden to the left side just up here. And so we want to head over there and head down the ladder just under the dark door in order to find our final music box. From that music box, we want to make our way through the dark door and into this next area. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, you cannot return to dark door areas after you've completed them, so if you've already gone through this area and missed this castaway, you cannot free him and you cannot unlock your achievement or trophy for freeing all 10 in this playthrough. You will need to start a new playthrough. So from here, this is basically a puzzle area. We need to use our moon blade on that little pedestal there in order to activate this little ledge that we can jump on and then teleport up to the next screen. From here, we're going to use our moon blade on this next pedestal, and then we want to actually head down using our harpoon in order to get all the way down here. There's going to be some enemies to fight down here, so just go ahead and fight your way through them. And then we want to continue along that right side path. You can actually see, or you could have actually saw 1 second ago, that there's a little eyeball just hanging out right over there to the right. What we want to do is head over there and then continue to the right, where we will find our last castaway, our last collectible, and we will get our achievement or trophy for freeing all of the castaways.